let's just jump right in and talk about how I work with other makers in my business. This may be a series of a couple of clips if I have to stop them at the store and customers are kind of in and out, but I want to do this while I'm at the store and I can actually show you some of the items that I work with. So we'll start with just some ideas for working with other businesses. If you see right here, we have a tree of ornaments. So this is something I've done recently, and see if I can. Let's take a look at this ornament. So you can see it's a Santa crab and it says Chesapeake City on it. So I worked with Raylene from Bee Hollow, and she is on Etsy. I wrote up this story here so that my customers can read this as well. But basically what I've talked about is the fact that being a handmade maker allows me to bring some experience of working on platforms like Etsy, where I've been for about 6 years. So talking about Etsy, that's a whole other topic, and I'll do a little bit of a talk there, especially talking about the changes and how I use Etsy for my business and how I don't use Etsy, which is an even bigger topic. But anyway, I've had a chance to meet many different makers just through Etsy, so I'll always be very grateful to them for that. One of those was Raylene. So as I opened this business, I noticed that none of the shops really had ornaments that had Chesapeake City written on them. And I know that when I travel, I like to pick up an ornament wherever I go, whether it's a day trip or going international or whatever, because when you decorate your tree each year during the holidays, it's nice to kind of reminisce with your family about vacations and things like that. So that kind of brought along this idea of getting these ornaments done. So obviously I'm a soap maker, and my initial thought was that I'm going to have a tree out here in the fall, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to put kind of like bath and body type ornaments, like globes with bath confetti and things like that, like clear globe ornaments, and it'll be kind of a teal colored flashy tree, that kind of thing. But then I thought I'd like to add in some ornaments that will also have that same color scheme, and what's better than a blue crab? I'm in Maryland, so Raylene was able to do these crabs for me, and she has another version she's doing as well that will have Santa lights on them. So far they've sold really, really well. She also sent me the state of Maryland that has a little handmade, hand-molded clay heart over Chesapeake City. And people love them. So while it's not soap, it still gives me something a little extra to offer my customers, because they'll come in and they'll pick up these, but then they'll pick up other things too, as stocking stuffers and just souvenirs. My shop is called Second Spring Naturals Handmade Soap and Gifts here, so I wanted the option of being able to add some gifts. So another collaboration I have done, and this is another maker I met through Clover Market. So we both did Clover Market together, and her name is Lindsay. She has Nyx Tape Paper Company, and she is out of Newark, Delaware. So I worked in Newark, Delaware for many years. It's close to my home. And through one of our Clover sales, I saw her cards and I thought, oh my gosh, I know I'm going to need some cards to go with my gifts that people are buying in Chesapeake City, and I want just one vendor, at least for now. So she was able to bring me these down when I first opened, and I'll insert a clip of her Instagram post kind of, following me and promoting me as well. So I'm offering her cards. They help my business move forward. They look great out here on the porch, but she's also promoting me in the meantime. Every time she comes down here, you'll see Instagram posts going up where she is promoting my business, and she does a really good job with her stories, much better than I do. So those are two examples. If you have a brick and mortar store, you can do this. Another example of something you can do is create a gift set working with other women in business. This gift basket. And I was able to work with Marlene Robinson with Mrs. Robinson's Teas in Kennett Square. So I'll show you what she made up for me. So they made up these sets of teas. So we came up with 3 different teas that would go well with the gift sets that I offer my customers, and particularly for Mother's Day. So we did a black tea, a green tea, and a rooibos tea. So we did a lavender, a lemon, rooibos, and an English breakfast was one I wanted to do, and then I let them help me kind of choose the best one. So we put them there. I also worked with a candy maker, Robin, of Robin's Cakes and Candies out of Landenberg, which is right near where I live. I work with her, I vend with her at Rooted, so it's one of the consignment stores for me, and I do very well at Rooted. I've been there for 6 years. They're actually getting ready to open a second shop in Newark, Delaware, and I met Robin through them because I wanted to offer like some candy. So we came up with a really small package. I don't have any here now because they all sold in the gift sets, but we did truffles for Mother's Day in a small package. So whether you don't have to be a brick and mortar store for that. I primarily sold those online. I did sell some here, but for the most part, I put some on Etsy, I put them on my website, I offered them in my Facebook group. So those are some examples of how you can work with other women to promote one another. You can also do giveaways. I've done giveaway collaborations. So pick something that kind of complements your brand and reach out to another maker so that maybe you can put things together to create a giveaway. And you can, one of the apps I really like for giveaways, it's AppSumo, so the King Sumo app, and I think it's like a one-time payment of $49 or something, but I've used that over and over again, and I've gotten so many email subscribers from it. So that's one of the ways I like to use giveaways, and then you both benefit from that. Let's see, what else did I want to share about collaborations? You can just do an Instagram giveaway where you're following one another. You want the followers to follow your brand, follow someone else's brand, and you kind of work together to do a giveaway there. You can do the same thing on Facebook. If you have a Facebook group like I do, you can invite another maker who kind of complements, you don't want to be in direct competition with one another with your brands, but somebody who has a brand that complements yours. Like for instance, I met a woman who came in here and she was one of my customers, but I figured out that she sold these lavender kind of aromatherapy type pillows that you put on your neck, and I recognized her brand and said, wait a second, do you sell at this store where I also sell? And she does. So it's kind of like one of those small world things. So with her, I could work together and create a set that has some aromatherapy tools for women to use, and then I would provide the bath and body. So again, you can do that in the form of a giveaway on any social media platform. You can do it with your email list. You can welcome one another into your Facebook groups, and then you could do a Facebook sale and kind of promote one another that way. So I've done those things many times. These candles, so I have candles that are just regular soy candles. They come in 9-ounce jars, but then I don't do kind of fancy type candles like this. So these are Fruit Loop candles. They have wax Fruit Loops on top. They smell amazing. She also does Fruity Pebbles, and she's got gummy bears, and she makes some that have ice cream on them. So when I first moved down here to Chesapeake City a few months ago, I met a woman who runs a local yoga shop, and she invited me to participate in this wellness fair that was back behind my building. So while we were talking about that, I also met a girl who makes these candles, and she came up and she bought some things, and then I looked at her candles and I thought I'd really like to have some more like colorful candles, something that's in addition to what I make, that maybe my younger customers who come in, it might have worked together and figured out what'll work in here. And then she hasn't really done, she's a newer brand, and she hasn't done like wholesale or really been in many stores or anything before. So this way I'm helping her to kind of get out there a little bit more, but it's also helping me because I'm selling them on consignment and my customers love them. So that's an example of a brick and mortar, but you have like limitless opportunities when you have a small business, whether you're online, whether you're at a physical store, whether you're doing both like I am. Use those things, kind of introduce other businesses to your customer base. They will do it. In turn, it will help you to grow your Instagram or other social media platforms. It can help you just to get your brand out there. Another thing you could do is, I happen to be friends with some women who own massage and wellness businesses, and it's just kind of worked out that way. Like 2 of my friends own their own businesses and do Reiki and massage and things like that. So through them, I've been able to give like samples of things to put in gift sets that they're offering when they do like an event or something like that. Or I'll go to the event and I'll share samples with their customers and invite my customers there, so that my local customers, so that they're able to see their place and try it out and try out their services. But at the same time, I'm getting new customers, and I have customers from years and years ago that I've met just at these wellness places, some of my best customers, in fact. So all of these things can really work out for you. If you'd like to know more about this kind of a thing, you know, about collaborations, the way I work with other women, I'd be happy to tell you, to share more. Another thing I do is don't be afraid to just give, okay? Because this is something I set out to do. It was part of my brand vision to begin with. My gratitude soap was always planned to be something that I was able to offer to help other women. I needed to be able to do that in some way. So my ultimate goal is to be able to hire women who are potentially getting out of situations that maybe that were dangerous for them. It could be like a domestic situation, and they're trying to, be brave and get out of the situation when they maybe don't have any money and they've got kids, and they go to places like Wings for Success in Kennett Square, where they help outfit them and get them ready for job interviews. So you can always donate nice, business attire for something like that. The Wilmington Women's Shelter, same kind of thing. So these are all examples of how you can donate. So when I make these gratitude soaps, all these balls of things come from my other soaps. I cut them off the end and I mold them into soap balls, and then it says it's made with citrus and magic. And then for every one I sell, I can donate one of these to the women going through these things so that they're able to still feel pretty. And I just recently was able to do some donations too, and I don't only donate gratitude, I'll donate others as well. But I'd like to be able to give monetary donations too, and not just physical products. So that's a goal that I have going forward, and this is something that you can do too in any kind of business, really. Pick something that kind of like tugs at your heartstrings, something you want to support. Think about, if I were in this situation, what would I need? What would I need for my children? So I really want to support these organizations, and someday my ultimate goal is to be able to hire these women. Like, I can be interviewing those women at Wings for Success and giving them jobs. And if I have a property, I just have this vision of having some soap shops that have properties that I own, and that also have kind of like apartment or townhouse type spaces where I can offer a woman and her kids not only a job, but also a place to live that's right there, so that they can kind of balance work and raising their children. That's my big vision. It's always been my big vision, and I will get there. I have a small soap shop now, but I'm looking at properties to see maybe down south where I can get something that is a shop that I own, and that is part real estate as well. So anyway, there's a little look into what my hopes for the future, but you can't necessarily get anywhere alone. We all have to support each other, and women supporting women is kind of the greatest thing, I think. And I have not gotten where I am just by myself. I've had many women supporting me, and I hope that I've been able to support some of them along the way. So if you'd like to know more about this story and about my goals, just stay with me. I have a lot of things I'm going to be sharing on this channel, especially during the fall. I've got some fun things coming up. So I hope you enjoyed this. If there's something else you'd like to know, please leave it in the comments, and I'll be happy to share it.